Welcome through the Hardaway, aka the three-man jail and weave, aka the best big three since LeBron, D-Wade, and Boz, live on YouTube on a Monday evening. Look, y'all, we are at 289 subscribers, 11 way from that big 300. So we definitely want you guys, if you're here, to subscribe to the channel. Of course, leave a like on the stream and comment in the live chat to join the discussion. Also, if you are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anybody podcasts, be sure to leave a 5-star review. We greatly appreciate it. It definitely helps the show out. As you can see, if you're on YouTube right now, we got 4 of us here. So it's not the big 3. We got a +1. We'll get into that in just a little bit. But if you don't know who I am the walking bucket, providing instant offense. It's your boy Savage. Up here, we got the coach on the sideline, take them school on off the court. And when I say it's really shitty, it's really shitty. Shitty, what's good?
Hey, is this bad? Today was like the first day of school, kind of, for some kids. And a new 9th grader walked in, and he was black. And I had to shake his hand immediately because I was saying he's going to be on the basketball team.
How tall is he?
As tall as us. They like us. For those that don't know, I teach at a multicultural school. So African Americans are very spruce. Some of them play on the basketball team. A lot don't. That's all.
As a coach, man, hey, when you 6'4" and above, and you new at the high school, and coach don't know you, he like, hold on, young man, come here, play basketball. You want to learn how to play basketball? Okay, yes.
You gonna learn today.
We also got your favorite DJ, sample man himself, Mr. Ted Kerr. Too, you at home, man?
I'm at the crib, dog. Y'all see the tiger behind me. Hey, Sheedy, you remind me of that movie, that Martin Lawrence movie, Rebound, when he saw the tall kid. He was like, oh yeah, you definitely call me. Yeah, you ain't got to try to nothing. Come on. You going right on the court.
I gave him the dates. I said October 22nd. I'll see you there, son.
Hey, real quick, man. Savage, you brought up the number 4, man. We're going to hold up them 4s, not only represent everybody on this pod, but my boy KD got 4 of them things, man. Talking about a pass to him. Yeah, okay.
Hey, speaking of 4s, you know, with KD, with KD doing his thing, was, you know, getting 4 Olympic gold medals. We are coming up on our 3-year anniversary, gentlemen. August 15th is 3 years of 3 to Hardaway, man. I looked to make sure before we started. I was like, that's been 3 years. So yeah. Damn. This is the 3rd year for 3 to Hardaway, starting this Thursday, I think. So yeah, just want to give us a shout out for that, because y'all probably gonna be listening to it at some point during this week. So you probably listen to it by Thursday. So I just want to wish us a happy anniversary on that. But we also, like I said, have a special guest today. Yeah, we got my guy from Sports with a Slur, the TNB podcast. It's a 49ers podcast, and Fatboy Fadeaway. Got my guy Tyler McGuirk in the building. Tyler, what's good, man? Oh, you muted right
on
now.
Mute, gang on mute. There
we go.
But it's cool.
We got the intro coming too.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be on the podcast. I've been looking forward to joining you guys for the 3 years since you guys started.
Literally 3 years.
It's one of the best. It's one of the best basketball podcasts going. I'm excited to be on. I appreciate you guys allowing me to come on. I can't wait to talk a little NBA basketball, a little USA, a little Steve Kerr, Spoelstra. I can't wait to get into it.
Much love, man. Just a little bit of background about Tyler for those who are listening to us. I think I don't know how we got connected, Tyler. I know you and Darren had Fatboy Fadeaway. I feel like I connected with y'all like maybe 3 or 4-ish years ago when I was doing IDK Sports Pod. And then kind of from there, we just been going back and forth on Twitter. We've had the Grizzlies and the Warriors going at it in the playoffs. So that kind of helped amplify, you know, our friendship. And so at this point now, I mean, even for me and you personally, the Niners and Eagles going at it in the playoffs and in the regular season. So we just been connected in sports just in a variety of ways, man.
Oh, it's been a friendly rivalry for sure from the beginning. I remember Darren just told me, hey, you got to listen to this podcast. He just reminds me of us, like just this diehard sports fan, doesn't take it too seriously, but knows his stuff. And then somehow we started following each other on Twitter. And man, once I started following you, my stuff got overran by Grizzly tweets. I was like, I don't know. These Grizzly fans are coming out in the woodwork. I didn't know there were so many Grizzly fans. Yeah, so here I am. This is how I got introduced to you and the Let's Be Real media and Sharky, all you guys.
Facts,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Facts, man. Like I said before, we got to get one more series, man. At least for Steph get up out of there and retire. We need one more Grizzlies and Warriors for the one time, man. For the one time. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get the show started, man. NBA trivia, what you got today for us, Took?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, of course, shout out to Steph Curry scoring 36 points against Serbia. Of course, we all know, if you didn't know, 37 from Carmelo is the most points in a single game. Gentlemen, there are 2 players who have had 31 in an Olympic game, and then there are 4 players who have had 30 points in an Olympic game. We're going to start off with the 2 players that have 31 points. Who are those 32 players that have 31 points in an Olympic game?
Damn.
KD at 30. I know that. I don't know.
KD was one of the 30s. Yep.
Yeah. David Robinson.
Dwayne Wade.
Nope.
D-Wade was a good call though.
LeBron? I mean, not LeBron.
Let's see. He played with LeBron.
Charles?
So Charles is not. But you're very close. Keep that answer, Tyler.
Oh.
Keep that answer.
What were you about to say though? You was about to give a hint.
Yeah. So he played. One of them played with LeBron. Well, actually, both played with LeBron at some point in time. Well, no, I'm sorry.
Kyrie?
One of the 31s didn't. I'm sorry. One of them did. One of them didn't. So Kyrie is not one of them.
Get to 31.
Let's see. Don't overthink. Don't overthink the one of them.
I was like, Bosh? I don't know.
He played with Brian. Keep that going though. He played with Brian.
Ray Allen?
He played with Brian.
Come on, y'all.
So play with Brian and is an Olympic athlete. Okay. Who played with LeBron? Boozer. Like I don't.
Nah.
Okay.
It should be pretty obvious. I'm not gonna lie.
Shaq?
Nah. With LeBron.
Right.
With LeBron.
Come on, y'all.
Hey, love. I don't
I've
know.
already said his name, gentlemen.
Did you?
KD? No, I never played with LeBron.
We struggling today, y'all.
Oh, this is gonna be a long one. I'm scared to
I
get
came in thinking I'd be nailed it.
Yeah.
You said his name already.
He was a special part in helping Team USA beat Serbia, but he didn't even play.
Carmelo Anthony.
Thank you, Sheedy.
Teammate Lakers. Oh my God, I forget about this shit. Damn.
Yeah, I mean, and with the gold. I mean, like I said, with Team USA.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the other one is a point guard. He did it in 2004. I'm gonna try to get y'all a little bit more hints. So point guard to Stephon
Marbury.
I got good stuff. All right. So y'all already said 2 of the 4 to score 30. Y'all already said KD was one. Tyler, you had the other. You had the other one, Tyler, as well.
Oh, Barkley.
Barkley was one. So give me 2. It's 2 others to score 30.
Okay.
One is a shooting guard. He did it in 2016.
2016 shooting guard. Booker.
Trash.
Not Booker.
Michael Redd.
Close.
No.
He is
said
a
Middleton's
shooter.
close?
Huh?
You said Middleton was close?
Booker was kind of close in a way.
Oh, Booker's kind of close. Okay.
They kind of look like brothers.
I'm gonna be pissed when y'all say whoever this is. Wait,
come on, Tyler. Tyler. Go 3 for 3, Tyler. Come on, Tyler. Go 3 for 3. Thank you.
Thompson?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. And then the last one, he was a MVP back in the day for the Utah Jazz.
Malone.
He did this in 1976.
Oh hell no, that ain't going
Jazz. Hold on.
Marky.
Pistol Pete, like so.
Right. I mean, they brought the archives with his ass. Like, damn.
With the Jazz. Oh,
he was a small forward.
Jazz. Okay. What's the guy's name?
Let me see. He used to play for the Pistons as well.
Look, I'm gonna say Mehmet Okur because he played for Jazz and the Pistons.
not 1970.
He played for USA. I know that one.
All-star Kerr. Don't you get it twisted though.
One time.
Yeah, it's 1976, gentlemen. Let me know when you want it.
76. Oh.
I don't know if y'all will get this one or not, but y'all definitely know him. Y'all definitely know him.
We definitely know him.
Dale Goodrich?
Nah.
He's a black guy or a white guy?
Black guy. Let me see. Did he win the championship with the
Jazz?
Who the hell played for the Jazz?
Right. In the 70s.
In the 70s.
No, in the 80s.
80s.
He played with the Jazz in the 80s, but he did this in 76.
Played for the Jazz in the 80s.
What college you guys at? You got that?
What? Give me initials. Hell, give me initials.
80. 80.
AD. Oh, Adrian Dantley. Dantley. Is that right?
Adrian
Dantley,
Dantley.
yeah.
Dantley.
Correct,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. I know.
Oh, man, y'all struggle with that one. Yes, I got
Yes.
you. I got
Yes.
you.
1976.
Yeah.
Look,
Way
my
back
dad was like
then.
11 years old, bro. He don't even know. Yeah.
Gotcha,
Hey, good shit,
gotcha.
Tyler, though. Tyler carried this on that one.
Yeah, Tyler Kerr this time. I ain't
Yeah.
gonna lie. Boy.
Mm-mm.
I struggled, man.
was tough.
All right. Team USA wins gold at the Olympics, man. So we're closing out our Olympic series. We had 4 episodes, with this one being the 4th, about Team USA at the Olympics. There was some concerns going into the Olympics with can Team USA, handle business, and they obviously did. I personally was kind of concerned with Serbia for a second. I mean, I think we all probably had some concerns during the Serbia game where they were down with 13-ish at one point in the 4th quarter. But I mean, we saw they turned it around and came out on top. But France game came, and France gave them their best shot to start. Wemby played amazing for France, but Team USA was just too much. Steph Curry was way too much for France, and Team USA came out of there with the gold, man. And the big 3 of LeBron with the gray beard and KD with the fresh quote unquote line in his head, and and Steph Curry handle business, man. So overall, what are y'all's thoughts about Team USA in the Olympics? And Tyler, I'll start with you, man. How you feeling about Team USA this past 2-3 weeks?
I mean, I'm happy they won, but it's as expected from me. I never had a doubt, except for in that Serbia game. Yeah, I got a little iffy in that 4th quarter. But I think, like, some of the things, we'll bring up Kerr early. I don't think he was really trying to blow teams out in these exhibitions. I think the South Sudan game gave them this, like, oh, we're going to play close games. There's going to be times where it's going to be like butt clenching time. And look how they responded. They come in the 4th quarter. LeBron does his thing. People are calling for Joel Embiid to be benched. Big part of that 4th quarter. But back to, like, I think Kerr did a good job. I think he gets 10% of the credit for it, 85% of the players. I really don't think the coach and Team USA deserves as much credit. Well, he doesn't get any credit, but deserves as much blame as he was getting throughout this tournament. You have 12 of the 13 best players every game at worst. If you're one of those players, you got to find it within you to be able to pull out a win. Like, that's how I feel about it. I really don't think the coaching in USA is that big of a deal. And that's where I defended Kerr so much, because people will be like, oh, like you said on Let's Be Real podcast on Saturday, oh, they bailed Kerr out. Like, they bailed themselves out, in my opinion. Like, these guys you're playing Jokic and then Bogdanovich and then scrubs. Like, as far as if they were playing an NBA. Yeah, they can do something, but and Jokic will get you open shots. I'm glad the players came through. LeBron deserves a ton of credit, and I don't give LeBron flowers very often. He deserves his credit. KD deserves his credit, and Steph deserves his credit. And watching them 3 play together, that LeBron pass, the Curry baseline, and Curry kicked it out to KD for that 3. It was just special. It was fun to watch. Like, I'm glad they came through and got that goal.
Yeah, it's been it was a pleasure to watch the Olympic Games, but I think it was more of a pleasure to watch pre and post games with the players and see the camaraderie of how all of us can come together for one thing, right? So it doesn't matter if you play for the Suns, the Warriors, the Celtics, doesn't matter. We're all together as one and banded as one. And it's nice to see them come together and also help push Anthony Edwards, I feel like, too, right? Because Anthony Edwards said he ain't playing for FIBA, by the way, no more. If it ain't for the Olympic gold, he ain't doing it. But I liked it. If Team USA would have lost, I think more credit. Honestly, I'm gonna stick to this. I think more credit or discredit should have been to the players and not the coach. If they would have lost, honestly. But as much as I'm going to rag about Steve Kerr, what have you, at the end of the day, he's not one of the 5 players out there playing the basketball. And so at some point, even as a coach, you might have to scrap whatever game plans we had and like, hey, get my best 5 out there and let's play. And shout out to Steph Curry for always holding it down those last 2 games and hitting some incredible shots. But also, Joel Embiid, hitting those mid ranges against Serbia when I thought he was done and cooked. He showed up, and also I'm gonna shout out KD on that defensive stance that he had at half court with Bob, mainly that back court. I ain't seen KD sit down in the chair since OKC. So shout out to that as well. But yeah, kudos to them. But like I said, had they lost, this wouldn't have been solely or a huge percentage would have been on the players and not Steve Kerr and the coaching staff.
Sheedy, you're going 85-15. I'm going 50-50 with that statement. Because I think a lot of the frustration that's coming from the older generation is coming from the fact of when you do look at our roster, we do have the best 12, outside of when we play Jokic, the best 12 players that you can have on the team. So we should not only win, we should be cooking their ass. But to the credit of the world, slowly but surely catching up to us, kudos for us, and I can't wait for us to talk about the future. But right now, we can go on the court with the players. I seen, Jrue Holiday was supposed to be one of our better defensive players on the perimeter, and he couldn't even get around screens from somebody. Therefore, I was begging for Jason Tatum to be played in the Serbia game at least. When you talk about player rotations, he should have been playing. I don't know what kind of signal he was trying to send, or, I understand is you can only play so many players. But the respect that you're supposed to give to a finals MVP or to a man that just won a championship, who could have won finals MVP, who, if you want to talk about shots going to somebody else, okay, cool. But you're talking about a player who can also rebound and get some assists, which is where Team USA struggled the most, especially, again, going against that Serbia team. I get that Jokic is the best player in the game, but Savage, you came into the, even last spot, was like, you don't think he was motivated. Yeah. He may not be motivated, but he's still, like I told you, 80% of Jokic still better than a lot of players in the NBA, and we just saw that over the past couple of weeks. So, I ain't got to talk too much of the last game, but just also on just the Serbia game, because that was the one that gave a lot of people – we could be talking about America winning bronze right now.
Bronze.
You know what I'm saying? And that was the game that LeBron, KD, and Steph had to be like, all right, Kerr, sit your ass down. We finna go ahead and get this dub for you. That is where the other 50% comes in with the coaching, because if you're needing players, if your style of play, if your rotations, if your lineups ain't working, if you got players in at the wrong time, if you're messing up the chemistry, like, you got to kind of be looked at as well. And Steve Kerr, I think, did an okay job. And I can't wait for us to talk a little bit more about Steve Kerr, because, Tyler, you know me, I rock with the Warriors. But I'm going to be realistic about what I saw from Steve Kerr. And then, I got to kind of have my brothers back on the pod when y'all went at it a couple weeks ago. But again, I think it's 50-50. Thank God we're here talking about America being gold. And shout out to the legends that, hopefully at least one of them get to play in 2028. Because we definitely going to need it if the world's catching up to us, especially in 3 to 4 years.
For sure, man. Shitty, I like to celebrate milestones, right? And so our most recent video, well, not most recent, but one of our recent videos from last week, where we guessed who would be on the 2028 Team USA roster, is now our most viewed video. It's at 1,600 views and counting, which is amazing for us. I'm gonna celebrate milestones for real on this podcast. Time we have a milestone. A lot of the comments from that video were saying how you were hating on Devin Booker.
Still,
that's true.
That's true.
That's true.
And now at that time, you were spot on, because Devin Booker was struggling. Like he was struggling. However, in the most recent games, he did play well. He was vital in both of these games back to back in terms of picking up 90 feet on defense, making shots when he could, and playing within the flow of the offense. I think that's why we saw a decline in Tatum's play on the court. And granted, I think that Tatum didn't even have a really good enough chance to get into a flow the entire Olympics, which on my end, I would say, why even have him there in the first place if you felt like he wouldn't be a good fit for Team USA? In terms of like his ego, man, this is still a top 10 player in the NBA. He's going to have an ego about how this entire thing, played out. Not to mention, Jaylen Brown, who ain't even there, he got an ego right now with Team USA. So I'd be damned if Jason Tatum ain't got an ego. So that leads me to wonder, is Tatum even going to be considering coming back in 2028, depending on who's on the roster? You know what I'm saying? I definitely want to give Devin Booker his credit, given that on our podcast, we were quote unquote hating on him. We weren't, but he was struggling, prior to the knockout round came into play. I do want to talk about Steve Kerr and Coach Spo though, because Steve Kerr is no longer going to be the coach for Team USA, which I mean, at this point, he has nothing to prove as a coach. He's won several championships as a player, as a coach, and he has a gold medal as well too. And I don't know how long he'll be coaching, honestly, because I feel like he's going to be tied to Steph Curry's career as it kind of gets wraps up. But Steve Kerr has a front office background, so I can see him moving into that sort of role, maybe with Golden State, maybe somewhere else. So I feel like this is a good opportunity for him to kind of step back and just kind of coast until Steph Curry calls it a career. So Steve Kerr is on the way out as Team USA's coach, and the reports is that Erik Spoelstra will be the coach of Team USA for 2028 in Los Angeles. With that being said, we did have a discussion last week with Tyler, who's here today, and Sheedy thinks that Spo would be a better option for Team USA, and Tyler obviously thinks that Steve Kerr is a better option. Well, in this case, was a better option because he's no longer going to be the coach. But I just want to hear y'all's thoughts on the two different coaches, who's better, and just kind of go from there. I'll chime in, and Tuka chime in as well as the conversation kind of goes. So, who wants to speak first on behalf of their coach?
You want me to go first?
Oh, sure. You're the guest. I gotta let you win.
As far as Kerr goes, I mean, what's your merch? Where do you get your merch? I think the first shirt that is "What is greater than what if." What is?
Like
Steve Kerr's a 4-time champion. He's two gold medalists, now championship coach.
That's facts.
His biggest accomplishment is he won a championship with his second best player being Andrew Wiggins. You can't say that about any of these great coaches. You can't say it about Pop. You can't say it about Phil. You can't say it about Auerbach. You can't say it about Pat Riley. He won a championship with the second best player being Andrew Wiggins. Tell me that's not coaching. The guy is a master of controlling egos. He had Draymond Green. Obviously, Draymond, he's gotten a little wilder as he's gotten older and gotten a bigger contract and had more control over what he does. Spo's a great coach. I'm not going to hear that say anything negative about Spo. Spo does his thing. He has gone to the NBA Finals twice with not NBA Finals teams, I'd say. He does play in the East, which I think gives him a little easier road than Kerr has in the West. Kerr, even this USA thing, Tatum didn't talk really about anything. He might have had one tweet and his mom came out and said something. Haliburton had a good time. He was laughing about I was here for a vacation. He controlled everything. No one came out and said anything negative about Steve Kerr. It just doesn't make sense why all the fans hate Steve Kerr. Is it because he pulled NBA's pants down for 8 years when he had an unreal roster, but he controlled it? He won every championship he should have won, except they were up 3-1. Draymond, probably his biggest little flare-up that mattered the most. But he's like Dennis Rodman. What are you going to do? I don't understand the hate for Kerr. That's my biggest thing. I'm always going to defend him. He has 4 championships. He lost 2 where KD and Clay got hurt. So, I think like I said, nothing against Spo. Spo's a great coach, but what is greater than what if, and to use his rosters against him, I think it's lame.
Okay.
Sheedy?
Sure. My argument about it all, I hear what the was is a greater one. I'm saying if you switch coaching staffs, would Steve Kerr's coaching staff do the same that Erik Spoelstra has done in Miami, and vice versa? Would Erik Spoelstra be able to elevate the Warriors a little bit better? But before, I got to give my flowers. Steve Kerr, regular season record, he's won 65% of his games, which signs him up to a very good seeding in the playoffs. When you get to the playoffs, Steve Kerr has those boys at 71% in winning in the playoffs. So, hell, that's pretty damn good. You already mentioned 4-time NBA champ. What you didn't mention, he also got Coach of the Year, man. You got to give him his props. That's something he got over Erik Spoelstra. Erik Spoelstra ain't got a Coach of the Year yet, right? So I got to give him that.
He doesn't have one. He should.
Yes. But now, that season, he won Coach of the Year. That was that 73-9 season. the same season that Luke Walton coached as well and got 39 wins and 4 losses, which would then make Steve Kerr's resume actually a little bit less than Luke Walton for that year, just that year. You already mentioned the blew the 3-1 lead, but they did actually beat someone. They were down 3-1, so I give them that. Steve Kerr without Stephen Curry is 84 and 147, a 36% winning percentage. Also, one last thing. I only do wins and losses. The Warriors only won 15 games one season.
15 games. They won 15 games. Steph Curry played 8. Clay played 0. And Draymond sat out for the last half of the game. And Draymond's one of the most overrated players as far as carrying a team. He's if he's playing with good talent, he's a good player. I've said this forever about Draymond. The Warriors fans hate me for it. I've called Draymond on his BS for a while. He's a great player when he's playing a great player. He is a scrub if he has to be the best player. Like, he can't score. Yeah. He can pass, but if you're passing to bums, you're not going to do anything. So, like, as far as that year when they won 15 games, yeah, you're right. They had $70 million of their payroll when $70 million was 2 max players out. And Draymond didn't play the second half of the year, and he wasn't going to win a game. And Iggy didn't play. Iggy got traded, I think, that year. It was a bad year. It was an absolute crap show. Yeah. I'm with you on that. But as far as, like, Steve Kerr also, people will bring up, like, oh, he doesn't develop players. Who came to the Warriors, or who did the Warriors draft? And then they left the Warriors and became good. I can tell you guys who came to the Warriors and rejuvenated their careers: David West, JaVale McGee, Barbosa, Son Livingston. And then, like, there's guys like Jordan Poole get drafted by the Warriors. Oh, he looks promising. He goes to the Wizards. It is the Wizards. So, like, there is that excuse built in for Jordan Poole to be a bum. But, like, there's no guys who left the Warriors and then all of a sudden we're good.
There hasn't been too many Miami Heat players as well. So I'll give you that.
They're both good coaches. That's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to, like, say anything negative about Spo. Like, I think Kerr's better, and you have the right to think Spo's better. I don't think it's like a big, like, oh, I hate you for that thought.
No.
As long as it's not Kerr can't coach, that's when I get offended. Like, I'm like, what are you talking about?
Okay, yeah, no. Give Kerr a shooter. Honestly, I feel like he's one of the better coaches because that's really his MO is shooting. In my opinion, I think the other thing that I'll bring is, like, back to the Coach of the Year awards. First of all, again, a true crime. Erik Spoelstra has not gotten Coach of the Year. 2 years he's been second. Besides that year, LeBron was cream of the crop. Okay, I just want to name you this roster. He got second place. Just walk with me for a moment. Okay, it's probably like the same team that won 15 games for the Warriors, but just hear me out. Luke Babbitt, Gordon Dragic, Wayne Ellington, Udonis Haslem, James Johnson, Tyler Johnson, which was our mistake, Rodney McGruger, Josh McRoberts, Willie Reed, Josh Richardson, Dion, I'm getting high waiters, Okoro White, Hassan, we paid him too much money, Whiteside, Derek Williams, and Justice Winslow. Trash.
That's trash.
Trash. And I will say, we didn't make the playoffs that season, but we still won 41 games.
He also played in the East.
41. Y'all
it's
lost.
Impressive.
Y'all lost.
But when he's in the West, he's not winning 41 games. I promise you that.
We're going to win 115.
If I may, just for a second, because you just named a whole roster when a couple of seasons ago we did have watched Spo take a whole bunch of no names into the playoffs, not even to the playoffs, but to the NBA Finals. Is that something that I think Steve Kerr can do? Absolutely not. Tyler, you just named a bunch of players that the Warriors were able to bring in, and you know me, I've been right there with you. I'm on a bandwagon, but if we're going to talk Warriors, let's do it. They were all veterans into their career. When you talk about young players to leave the Warriors, and whether or not they're good enough, for one, they were on the Warriors, and for two, Steve Kerr didn't do a good job of letting them develop. You got to think, in order for Kuminga to shine even last season, he had to go out to the media and say, hey, Kerr, bro, put me in. Like, let me do my thing. And now it's to the point where I don't know what kind of future Kuminga got. I don't know if he's about to be worth $200 million next year, but that's a contract the Warriors about to give him. When I don't even know if this dude's about to be an all-star. You know what I'm saying? So even with Jordan Poole, y'all gave Jordan Poole all that money, and I told y'all every single day on this podcast, the pool party is closed. You know what I'm saying? So even him going to Washington and not being able to do that, he was a fourth option with Golden State. Of course, he was putting up the numbers and being the role player that he should have been. And James Wiseman. After the 15-win season, we got James Wiseman, who I feel like should have still been on the Warriors team. How do you not know how to play a 7-foot young big man who just throw it up there? If you can make JaVale McGee a veteran something, if you can make Zaza Pachulia almost become an all-star, y'all remember that year he almost became an all-star starter. Come on, man. You got to be able to develop James Wiseman. And you talking about somebody who's watched James Wiseman live in person. He should still be a Warriors. Yes, he was worth that number 2 pick. And now he's, I guess, I don't know what's going on with him. Maybe he's just a role player at this point. But Steve Kerr should have found a way to use a 7-footer. And now we got to worry about still Kevon Looney being the tallest player on the team. Like, that's an issue for the Warriors not to have any consistent bigs outside of Kevon Looney. And now you got him coming off the bench. Going forward, I think Steve Kerr coaching the Warriors is going to be an issue.
I mean, the Warriors won a championship with James Wiseman right in the bench. Like, he doesn't know how to play defense. He doesn't know where to be. Like, there's like how you are in the playoff, like you're making a playoff run. If you can't depend on a player, like CD, you coach. You have a guy who doesn't know where to be. Maybe he's athletic, but doesn't know where to be. It's tough to put the guy in. Like, I don't see it with White. Yeah, he's athletic. He can dunk the ball. He's a freak. He can beat JaVale McGee. You're right. Like, they could have found those minutes for him. But I just don't see it with JaVale McGee or with Wiseman. I don't think he's ever going to find it. I don't think he was a bad second overall pick. Kerr's on record saying I wanted Haliburton. He didn't play him in the Olympics, but he was on record saying I wanted Haliburton.
Oh, the irony of that.
I mean, he had Steph, man. He had Steph, so I mean, I don't need Haliburton.
That would have been a nice little one too. And another thing you bring up, you had Steph. Steph's not a point guard. When Mark Jackson was there, they were on the trajectory of using him like James Harden. He was going to be a pick and roll top. He's going to put a monster number. Steve Kerr gets there, he takes him off the ball, and that team instantly becomes championship contenders. Like he learned it from Pop. Obviously, he's had great mentorship with Pop, Doodles, and Phil Jackson, some of the best in the world to ever do it. And he learned from it. They could have used Wiseman better. I agree. Kuminga, on another hand, if they give him 226, they made a huge mistake, and they're never winning anything for the next decade.
One more thing.
What's your cap for Kuminga?
Go ahead. Yeah, what's your cap? That's a good question.
What for Kuminga?
Yeah.
He can't shoot. He's good. He's like a Sean Marion. Like, I think he's a good role player. He's a good like fourth, third, like run the wing, get some defensive stops, hit a corner three. But you're paying him max dollars. It's not going to be a good look. And Sean Marion's a good player. Don't get me wrong.
And shooting is very important for a Steve Kerr system. If you can't shoot, like Wiggins. You mentioned Wiggins. Wiggins was shooting the cover off the ball when he was it the finals? Like he was a decent shooter. Yeah, like and so if you can't do that, if you can't emulate that, I mean, we see Wiggins now, and he has his own issues with family or whatever, but he has not been able to replicate what he did in the finals years ago, and that makes him expendable as a player. And if Kuminga can't shoot, that's expendable, for him as a player. And two, you said for the longest that the Warriors need to bring in another all-star caliber player. I mean, we talked about Siakam at some point last season, and of course he's with the Pacers right now. But yeah, like that's Steve Kerr. Like, so my 2 cents. Steve Kerr is a great coach. I said it before in this podcast. Spoelstra is a great coach. Said it before in this podcast, obviously. I'm wondering how will Team USA look, because that's I guess that's the point of the question, with Spo being the coach in 2028. Will they perform better, and how will they look different in 2028? And that's a question I'm just asking, not y'all to answer, but just I'm asking out loud to myself. The roster is going to be totally different because LeBron's not playing, obviously. Steph is probably not going to play. I think Steph is done. I mean, we saw what happened in Paris with Aisha and the kids. Like that was a whole crazy situation.
What happened?
So I don't know what was going on exactly, but some people in Paris were like, I think being physical with her in terms of like pushing that. I think they might have pushed the baby. They got a newborn baby, and they put hands on. I'm like, nah, man, we've been fighting. Steph, I don't know where he was at, but I would have popped up and did something if somebody touched my kid, or my wife, let alone it. So I think Steph might just be chilling in the off seasons at this point.
He got his one.
Right. But I think with Spoelstra is going to have more use with a roster with literally anybody in 2028 because we see him do that with literally anybody with the Miami Heat. What's the guy named Haywood Highsmith from whatever college he's from?
Willie Jessup. Mm-hmm.
I mean, Gabe Vincent, who is nothing with the Lakers.
Caleb Martin.
Like the only guy that's doing something is Strus in Cleveland.
Yeah,
that's the only guy doing something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only guy. So I think that is. I mean, Team USA they won with Kerr. We can't really change the past. I mean, they won. Period. Was it super convincing? Not really. But I mean, a win is a win. That's one of the. I guess one of my bylaws like win's a win, bro. Like that's what it is. You can't.
Mm-hmm.
You win by 1 point, you won. 1 by 20, you won. It is what it is. So I do think that Spoelstra is going to be probably a better coach for the next generation of Team USA in 2028, depending on who he has with that roster. We talked about it last week about who will be on that roster. Spoelstra will be a great coach for that roster. Now, who was around him is going to be the question. Like, is T. Lue coming back next time? Is Mark Few coming back next time? Who will be around him will be interesting, in my opinion, as far as that goes. Yeah, a lot of comments. My God, oh, it's the same guy.
I think also the development of how the other countries will be too. Like 4 years ago, no one saw Wemby about to be this great. In 2020, nobody's talking about, oh, when France got this new guy coming out and he's going to be amazing. No, the man's is absolutely amazing. I know we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Brandon Katz, man. He got a lot of comments in here.
Hey, Savage, real quick, because I always wanted to ask a Warrior fan this. Y'all know me, how I've been feeling. Y'all know me for the last, I guess, 8-9 years. I've been on the bandwagon, and I've seen some things. And I've always said ever since Let's Be Real started that the Warriors needed Kevin Durant to win more than Kevin Durant needed the Warriors to win. I always wanted to ask a Warriors fan that, or have a Warrior fan explain that's his side of the story, because what I saw was what I saw in Team USA, which is how I can tie it in, was the players, quote unquote, bailing Steve Kerr out. When KD joined the Warriors, it was, of course, we got you to beat LeBron. That was it. You know what I'm saying? We saw LeBron's mindset and game plan and everything beat the Warriors. That was a 73-9 team. Back again in 2015, 2016, when they went against the Cavs the first time. In my honest opinion, even though I rock with the Warriors, the Cavs team was a better team. They should have won that first time. Even like Kyrie was playing way better than Steph Curry. Kevin Love was contributing a lot to that Cavs team. I think they should have won that first time, but of course, injury happened. It is, what if? Meanwhile, again, the second year, they come and beat that 73-9 team, which again, in my eyes, we should be celebrating the Cavs winning 2 in a row instead of the Warriors winning 1. That's just, that's me coming just from a basketball fan. That's why KD was able to come over, and of course, it made them a super team, but that was what's needed. If that's what's needed to beat LeBron James, then again, Kevin Durant, the Warriors needed Kevin Durant more than Kevin Durant needed the Warriors to win.
I agree wholeheartedly with Kevin Durant was needed. I mean, I disagree with the first year. I think the Warriors were better than the Cavs, and I think even the second year the Warriors were better than the Cavs. But the Warriors needed KD. KD, that's the best basketball player of all, or best basketball team of all time, in my opinion.
Agreed.
Those Warriors with KD were just
agreed.
It made it so like people now can say, "Oh, look who Kerr coached," and people use that against him. But no one does. And I don't want to stick on Kerr for too long, but like no one does that with Phil. Like he coached Jordan, Rodman, Pippen, Shaq, and Kobe. Like nobody says that. But back to the point. The Warriors absolutely needed KD. They were getting worse. Harrison Barnes wasn't getting any better, and we saw that going forward. KD, I think some of my hate for Draymond comes from me blaming him for the whole KD leading the Warriors. I wish KD stayed. It would have been the most fun. I mean, those years were the best basketball years I've ever watched.
Me too. That's really what helped me become like that Warriors. I'm like, y'all got Kevin Durant and he finna play good basketball. Oh, this man finna win. They should be a dynasty. Like I feel like KD should still be a Warrior, and I'm still upset.
He should still be a Warrior, bro. Like that's just crazy to me.
Meanwhile, I got Luke Babbitt. Meanwhile,
you had prime LeBron, man. You had prime LeBron.
And even Spoelstra, like he's only won with LeBron. Wade and Boss. Like we could bring up super teams, and like you need good players to win championships.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's facts, mate. Speaking of good players, something that's more light. So Steph Curry's fourth quarter in the Olympics, bro. I just want to know real quick, what was y'all's like viewing experience watching that play out? Like we were, like I said, we were in Buffalo Wild Wings. The first one was like, okay, cash. The second one was like, okay, Steph Curry doing his thing. Third one, I'm like, all right, Steph, something happening right now. The fourth one, I'm holding my son, and Sharky can attest this. I'm holding my son, hit the fourth one, fading away over two defenders.
You didn't drop him, did you?
He was with me. I stood up out of my seat and everybody in Buffalo Wild Wings did too. Parker was also there as well from formerly from Grizzly Bear Blues. He was there as well too. We all got up out of our seat and was like, bro, what is happening right now? What is happening? Is this what it's like to be a Warriors fan, to experience Steph Curry just not having any conscience with hitting these threes, man? So that was my experience. What was y'all experience watching those threes?
You want me to go ahead?
Go, Tyler. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tyler.
I was watching on my couch with my wife. She was making phone calls for work or something. The first two, I was like, the first one, I was probably the second most excited for because it was cutting to a 3-point game. I was getting nervous. He hits that big three. I'm like, all right, here we go. And then he hits the second one. And then he gives it to KD. KD, he knows what to do. He's played with him before. Gives it right back. He hits that third one. And then the fourth one, I get up and I just went. I don't know. I'll keep it family friendly. I just said, F yeah. Stood up. My wife, shut up. I was like, oh, geez, sorry. I'm just having a good time watching my guys play. And I was just spectacular. But you bring up the whole fourth quarter. I sent a tweet going, this man cannot pass the ball with less than 5 minutes because he made two terrible passes. I don't know if you remember them. And I was like, my God. But then Steph being Steph, he always makes up for it and carried us that win.
To answer your question, Savage, yes, that is how Warriors fans feel for the last 10 years. He's hit some amazing shots. Of course, watching it going viral is one thing, but actually watching the game and watching it live and just knowing that he's about to do something crazy, it's an amazing feeling. You're talking about somebody who was literally setting up for a freaking wedding and screaming, let's go, let's go. I almost said, oh, shit. But I had to look where I was and, keep my composure just for a little bit. But, just watching that game, I think it's probably one of the last great moments that we'll see from Steph Curry. Hopefully they are able to get to at least one more championship. But if not, this is the way to go out, especially if if Steph Curry, if he's going to be one and done. I think he already said he's going to be one and done anyway. And shit, if it was me, I'd rather come in like this and end like this. So I throw my deuces up and keep it moving. But this was beautiful to watch.
Yeah, I'm actually going to take it a step back. I'm not going to go talk about that fourth quarter. I'm talking about the fourth quarter in Serbia.
Yep.
And we don't have that fourth quarter against France unless we beat Serbia, right? And I remember I was listen, I had a few. Okay.
A few what though? A few what?
A few waters.
Okay. Like you cross-painted, bro.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here, I'm literally sitting on the couch with my daughter while people watching the game, and she's excited and watching the basketball with me. And those type of moments are what I'll cherish. Like I remember the game, yes, but I remember my child being right there with me and seeing this greatness. Whether or not she'll remember that, she's 3, about to be 4, doubt it. But just to watch the resiliency of Team USA against Serbia and coming back, I knew it was going to set them up for success for France. But they had to get that out the mud, the quicksand, the dirt, whatever you want to call it. And by God, they did it. And Steph Curry was a big reason, because without Steph Curry scoring 30 plus points, they don't even exist to France. And now they're playing for bronze. So I want to give Curry his flowers for that previous game first, as you guys have talked about his fourth quarter for the second game, for the gold game, excuse me.
And we literally, like the big three of LeBron, KD, and Steph, like each of those three had their moments, man. Like where it's just like, this is a legendary player, bro. Like this is a player that we can't see this be emulated or mimicked in generations upcoming. You know what I'm saying? We won't see another LeBron James. You won't see another Steph Curry. You won't see another Kevin Durant. So to have them all on one team, the fact that France even halfway, or Serbia as well, competed against this roster, granted, all these players are older, it's still something to be said. But also on the flip side, it shows you how great those three are. Like I said it before about, I think it was Dwayne Wade when he was older, and even like Derrick Rose to some extent when he was playing in Minnesota, where like they are a great player historically, but when they get older, they can't do it as much. But every now and then you will see flashes of greatness from those players every like 4 or 5 games. But with these three, they are still on top of their game. LeBron, KD, and Steph are on top of their game. It may have changed a little bit in terms of like how they perform, but they still are able to perform at such a high level that they're winning gold medals in the Olympics. And it can be said that they're
Wi-Fi too. Tyler, you still there?
Oh, I'm here.
Yeah. Now we also here.
Dang.
Two can't
How
hear.
we lose everybody? All right. You back, Savage?
No, I've been here. You are. I don't know what's going on with yours. we lost Took though, so I don't know. But yeah,
Idaho.
we can pause.
You bring up those three players.
Go ahead, Tyler.
LeBron's probably going to go down as the best of the trade. Who do you have rate if you had to make a list of your top whenever Steph or KD is behind who finished, who had the best, who's the greater player of all time, Steph or KD in your mind?
Oh man, you put me on the spot, man. That's tough.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that as far as you can't even go a talent route because they both have a unique skill set talent wise, and they both are accomplished players. Both have won MVPs. You could argue Kevin Durant could have won another MVP. Steph has 2, obviously. KD has 2 rings. Steph has 4?
Mm-hmm.
Is it 4?
Yeah, 4.
Mm-hmm.
And you could argue that KD was the primary reason why they won those 2 in between the other 2. So it's a very unique comparison, having here go Took right here. 1 second. It's a very unique comparison to have Kevin Durant compared to Steph Curry and figure out who's better. Oh my God.
Would this make it easier? Who would you
wait? What I miss?
So
Tyler
Tyler asked me who was better all time, essentially Steph or KD.
You ain't gonna finish your sentence, Savage? Hell no, you ain't gonna get out of that.
Okay, so
who would you start their careers with?
Oh, Kevin Durant easily. Kevin Durant easily. Easy Kevin Durant.
I'm answering Kevin Durant, which is why I'm such a big fan of his. When you talk about just the simplicity of basketball, Kevin Durant is the most talented scorer the game has ever seen. Of course, LeBron is the quote-unquote greatest because he scored the most. But if you're talking about being able to do everything, and being a 7-footer, like I don't care what nobody says, Kevin Durant is 7 feet tall. He is. And to be able to do things a shooting guard is doing, and to be able to do it for this long, even after an Achilles injury, that's one of the greatest careers of all time. Granted, of course, you needed Steph to win. I get it. But Kevin Durant is somebody, of course, it sucks for me to say he don't have that alpha dog mentality. Kevin Durant just somebody to go hoop and go home. There's nothing wrong with that. So of course Steph have the rings, he got the titles, he got everything. But you're talking skill. Of course, Steph is the greatest shooter of all time. But if the shot ain't falling,
I think you convinced me too. I think the question of sometimes, but I think asking the question of who I would start with the rookie year kind of helped me get to that point. Kevin Durant is like the ultimate plug and play player. You can put him in any system, and he gonna make shit pop. We've seen that literally happen in OKC, obviously, Golden State, Brooklyn when it was healthy and working. And even with Phoenix, I mean, they were the one team that gave Denver the only problem the year that Denver won a championship. And Steph is, I mean, a great player. Obviously, we're not going to disrespect Steph, but I think that he came up under the perfect environment of a well-run or well-functioning team, and he kind of evolved into what we see today. He was always a great shooter, but within that system of ball movement, backdoor cuts, threes, playing good team defense, he evolved into what we see now within that system, whereas Kevin Durant is naturally just, 7 feet tall, shooting from 35 feet away, and you build him in a lab, essentially. So I'll pick Kevin Durant.
And even before then, excuse me if I'm cutting somebody off, but you're talking to somebody who had to shut up, Shitty. Who like even in college, Steph Curry had to grow into the player that he is. Whether Kevin Durant in college first year came and won Player of the Year. I mean, so it kind of started there as well.
Steph Curry. I'm taking Steph Curry. You just said it. Even KD grew. I mean, Steph Curry had to grow. He had some big shoes to fill in Davidson and in Golden State. For 10 years, our offense, your defensive schemes against that team have always been stop Steph Curry, everything you can do, 94 feet. And I can arguably say, and I'm not a Warriors fan, but I would say that even when KD's years he was there, Steph Curry was still number one. And then KD. You sent your best defender to Steph, not to KD. And so to me, I'm going to say Steph Curry. If the resumes were to stop right now, I'm saying Steph Curry. When the resumes stop in 3 to 4 years, I'm still going to say Steph Curry. I still believe Kevin Durant is a great generational talent. But ladies and gentlemen, I think when we lace them up and we talk, I don't know, top 10 of all time, top 15 of all time, I truly believe that Steph Curry's name will be above Kevin Durant's.
It's unfortunate, but
I agree with CD. But like you guys said, also KD was the better player when they were on the same team, though, which I disagree with CD about. Like KD, maybe you didn't send the best defensive player on because he had no chance. No,
you can't guard him.
KD missed it, not because of the defender. Like where Steph, at least he can game plan for, I guess. Even though Steph's unbelievable as well. I don't want to diminish either of them, but I think Steph will go as a higher on the all-time list, but I think KD in a vacuum is a better basketball player. I think KD is like a top 10 basketball player of all time in a vacuum if you don't have resume or anything like that.
Love it.
Hey, speaking of KD, do y'all think that he'll be back on Team USA in 2028? And why? Because how old is he? How old is he now? He's like what, 35?
He may be
35 years old.
Yeah.
I only ask because I feel like I don't know. I feel like Kevin Durant kind of want to be the top dog for one of these teams, man. Not like, I mean, he was top dog last time, but like I feel like he can be the old head for this upcoming team, along with, I mean, I'm assuming Ant-Man gonna be there, obviously. Ja, who loves KD. Yeah, I feel like he can be the elder statesman on this last like mellow type run.
Number 35 is 35. Good call, Saber. So he'd be 39. Yes. He already has the most gold medals in basketball history, men's basketball history. Excuse me. I think Diana Taurasi got 6 of them things. So 6. Crazy. I mean, so who knows? He may try to tie with her, but I know for sure. If LeBron can get his last go around, and KD has always been, even back in the day, he's always said, "Hey, LeBron has been, one. I've been 2." Like you just said, maybe KD wants to be 1 for one last time. No pun intended. It'll get 5. Perfect hand, and for everybody talking about Team USA basketball, Olympic basketball don't matter. I don't want to hear that shit ever again, especially in this moment that we're living in right now. I don't want to hear that. So if he can get 5 of them things, Tyler, hopefully when we look in it, that may help him get a little bit above Steph Curry if it'll matter. But if not, having 5 gold medals is outstanding.
Yeah. I don't think any of them are coming back. I think the one guy who would come back is actually the oldest guy, and that's LeBron. Because if we know anything about LeBron, he wants to get to KD. He wants to match him and get that 5th one. And I think he stays in the league till Bryce makes it, and then he retires at maybe a year before the Olympics and tells everybody, hey, I'll be back for the Olympics. I'm going to sit out this NBA season, get right, be healthy, and ready to go for that 2028 Olympics.
Conspiracy, Tyler.
And I'm not gonna play unless my son's playing.
I told y'all. Bronny's gonna play. I'm telling y'all.
You said it, Savage. Both
I'm telling y'all. Do not be surprised if Bronny James is out there in LA. I'm telling y'all.
Both.
I'm telling y'all.
I mean, it is in LA too. Yeah, I think KD comes back. I think KD comes back. I think LeBron's never done. He always says he's done, but we never know. But I think KD comes back. Okay. For why? Just a hoop. He's a hooper, right? So
he's a hooper, yeah.
He ain't doing nothing else.
Right. You're not, not getting another ring.
He ain't married. He ain't got no kids. I mean, might as well.
He ain't gonna get it with the Suns.
I mean, that's to be said.
Okay, we'll talk later.
He said we'll talk later. All right. So on the other side of the gold medal game was France and Victor Wembanyama. Obviously, Wemby is going to be an amazing player in the NBA. I mean, he was an amazing player this year. He could have won DPOY. He could have been an all-star. 22 points a game, 10 rebounds, 4 blocks. I mean, a rookie. I'm more so curious as to what you guys think about France's chances in the future, 2028, as far as them being an actual threat to Team USA in the Olympics. Wemby gave him that work in this game. We had 26 points, I think, some to that degree, 20-some points. And he's only going to get better under Pop and also under Chris Paul, who's under the Spurs as well, too, at least for 1 year. You know what I'm saying? So France will also lose Gobert, I'm sure. They'll probably lose Batum. But a lot of these French players are coming into the league. I mean, what's the guy from the Hawks? He's French. Whatever his name, I don't know his name. That guy. You got Sarr, who's also there as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're gonna have a young upcoming French team that could give a young quote unquote Team USA roster some problems. So how are y'all feeling about Wemby and his future with the Olympics in 4 years?
Okay, let me real quick. Jeff Teague talked about Giannis and his brother and how Giannis's brother is his superpower, right? Like he needs his brother. Wemby's got a younger brother, by the way, who about 6'7", 6'8" right now.
Mm-hmm.
He joins that team somehow or another. They're gonna have some type of superpower. It's how I'm seeing. And so I think the French national team is going to be a problem, and they're getting rid of their issue, which is Rudy Gobert and Batum. I like what Tyler said earlier about you was resting Batum until later, but also Batum. Since I've seen him beat us, the Miami Heat, not playing scenario, I haven't really seen much of him. So I think he's done. I think he, will be back, but some fresher legs, and whatever Wemby develops, and we know, they're not going to be, finals ready next year, the year after that. But whatever he does in the lab, if he gets a Hakeem Olajuwon type of deal or whatever, spend some bread to go to that camp, it's a problem because the brother can always score from outside, inside out, legitimately. And so, like I said, if they add his brother, for some reason, I feel like there's a superpower and they're going to win.
Oscar,
it'll be like a redeemed. It'll be like a redeemed because now we'll be in United States and we won't be in Paris.
Oscar Wembanyama is his name. So you got Victor and you got Oscar. Oscar is 16 and he already doing his thing. So you got him. You got the other players who we don't even know about. Like I think that France is getting all these old heads out of here, and I think 3 to 4 years they will be Team USA's biggest stretch. It should have been Canada. Canada! I told y'all they weren't gonna do that. It should have been Germany. Germany
was good, man. Germany was good.
I could have been if I was a betting man and with my first man, I probably could have won some money based on who I.
You could have.
But Germany could have been in. But we're talking about Wemby, who I think averaged 13 and 10 in this entire Olympics. That's for Ricky. That's not bad. But I'm afraid what he gonna look like 3 or 4 years from now. Like I said, especially with the roster, they know they're hungry. You can come in with the storyline of. Because it's already 2028 already give me 2004 vibes anyway. You're gonna have players already like Ant-Man who didn't experience the Olympics, who gonna come in with a bunch. There's gonna be more inexperienced players coming in than experienced players for 2028, and I think it may be a clash, especially if we don't pick the right coach. So if we don't pick the right coach and have the right coach coming in for 2028, the French gonna get us. The French gonna get us.
I mean, yeah, the subtraction of Gobert is an addition as far as I'm concerned.
Come on now. Come on now.
Wemby's going to be a monster. He's going to be tough to deal with. But if it's like Serbia where you got, Wemby could be even better than Jokic, has that potential. But if your Bogdanovic is your second best player and France doesn't develop anyone outside of Wemby, one of these guys who are the top 2 picks in the NBA draft has to turn into something that is a real threat.
Hey, they got Koulibaly too. Koulibaly's pretty nice.
Yeah, Koulibaly's good. someone has to turn into more of a threat than what they showed. And even though they played well, that I don't can't even the guy that Celtics drafted in 2016, I believe,
Yeah,
who
that
dunked
random
on
dude.
LeBron. I don't know. They showed up, but I think they need a real another star next to Wemby if they really want to compete with. You can't have one of the top 13 players. Mm-hmm. It's too hard to win in a game like that.
Mm-hmm. Zachary Richardson will be his running mate. Mark this down. What's his August 12, 2024? In 2 years. Mm-hmm. Zachary, if you let me down. I've been real high on him. It's crazy. Like that's the one team I did not want him going to. No, he with the Hawks.
Hawks. Yeah.
But even Alex Sarr, how is he gonna develop? But one of those two can be Victor's running mate. We're just gonna see. It may be both.
Sorry, so they got 4 first-round picks and the number 1 pick from this draft. So they got some talent. The talent is there. Now they got to come together and play well because it won't be in France next time. It'll be on American soil. A little bit
France develop a shooter. We talked about him a lot this podcast. Get a little French Steph Curry. It's a wrap. Come on. That's all you need.
Let's do French Patty Mills first before we talk about Steph.
Patty Mills.
I mean, even that's gonna be an issue. I mean, at this point, if we're talking Olympics, which one would you be scared of more?
Touche, because Patty Mills was a problem for Team USA.
Come on now.
Carlos Arroyo was
dogging us.
Come on.
Carlos Arroyo got a whole statue because of how he's beating our ass. Damn.
Who was coaching?
God.
Pop?
Who was coach back then? It was like 04. So that was that might have been Pop.
That was Larry Brown.
No,
Larry Brown, yeah.
Larry Brown.
Larry Brown struggled. He struggled, man. Larry Brown didn't want to play his young players. He didn't want to play LeBron. Exactly. He was like, nah, I'm playing old heads. I'm playing freaking I don't even know who he's playing.
Iguodala.
Amar Stoudemire.
Speaking of old heads, man, Jrue Holiday, is he a Hall of Famer? So this was a conversation I saw on Twitter. And I dug deep into it, and I was like, okay, let me see what's going on with it. And I'll list his accolades, man, because they are pretty comparable to what Took mentioned, another Hall of Famer, Chauncey Billups. Aside from the Finals MVP, and it's kind of funny because my measuring stick is always Mitch Richmond, which surprisingly, since Todd's on the podcast, is a Golden State Warrior. Wow. Who Mitch Richmond is a great scorer. He averages 20 points a game in his career. Mm-hmm. That's amazing for anybody to do, but he doesn't really have any defining moments that's makes him a Hall of Fame caliber player.
His most defining moment is Michael Jordan saying he's the second best shooting guard of my era. I feel like it's not even something he did on the court. It's just what Michael Jordan said. And I feel like that's why he's in the Hall of Fame. Carry on.
Right. And Mitch Richmond, he's literally just a hooper. I get buckets and I go home. That's literally what he did. So Jrue Holiday, this is his accolades: 2-time NBA champion and played a vital role on both of those championships. 2-time NBA All-Star, 3-time All-Defensive First Team player, 3-time All-Defensive Second Team player. And I think that's it. Yep, that's it. So those are his accolades. Now compare that to Chauncey Billups. Chauncey Billups' accolades are 1-time NBA champion, 1-time NBA Finals MVP, 5-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA second team, 2-time All-NBA third team, 2-time All-NBA defensive second team. When you weigh the two resumes, you weigh both resumes. The only thing that's pushing one over the top is a Finals MVP. That's the only thing that's pushing one over the top. Otherwise, Jrue Holiday's career is pretty much comparable to Chauncey Billups in terms of the accolades. Aside from maybe Billups has way more all-star appearances, but in my opinion, I don't care about all-star appearances. That's more popularity. And the Pistons were a very popular team in the early 2000s with Rip and Tayshaun. Well, Tayshaun didn't make one, but both Wallaces.
Everybody, all 4 of them.
Right. So that being said, to y'all, not do y'all think he's a Hall of Famer, but will he get in the Hall of Fame based on the current standards of the Hall of Fame?
Savage, I laugh real loud because it's just how shitty look when you just read everything off, and it's literally how I feel. I'm somebody that believe, I'm sorry, but Chauncey Billups is not a Hall of Fame player to me. So I say that to say Jrue Holiday has had a great career. His best days have been his latest days, and we can't say that about a lot of players, so kudos to him. But when I think of Hall of Fame, I think of just the gold standard of gold standards. You just named somebody who played great defense as a player, averaged 20 points a game a couple times, and now he's about to be in a Hall of Fame. Granted, he got a couple gold medals. Yeah, he got a championship, but it's a bunch of players in NBA history, 2 championships, you're right, 2 championships.
Mhm.
And it's a bunch of players like that ain't getting the same look. That's probably done more than he has. I think in this standard, yes, he will unfortunately get in the Hall of Fame, but the Hall of Fame is so watered down. It's like they damn near finna start letting everybody in. So should he be one? Has he had a Hall of Fame career to me and what I'm used to expecting Hall of Fame careers to look like? No, he has not had one. But to answer your question, in this day and age, he will be in the Hall of Fame, unfortunately.
Yeah, I agree with him. He'll be in the Hall of Fame. He's one of my favorite players in the whole NBA. I love Jrue Holiday. I wish he could be. He's one of those guys who could be on any team and make them better. I mean, a guy named Sarunas Marciulionis, a former Warrior who nobody knows, did nothing in the NBA, but it's the Basketball Hall of Fame. So like, Billups contributed in college, where Jrue Holiday only played 1 game, and that's where I think it makes it a little iffy for Jrue. But it just seems like everybody gets in the Hall of Fame if you do, like, if you're 15 years and you have a couple accolades, like 2 finals, and you have a couple first team all defenses, and you have a couple gold medals now too. I think that's the second gold medal. I think Jrue gets it. I don't know if he deserves it. He wouldn't be in my NBA Hall of Fame, but as far as how it works, he'll get in.
Yeah, when the bar dropped for Chauncey, you letting a lot of other people in.
Yep, that's what I said last year.
Got to.
So you have to. And it's like, but shout out to Jrue Holiday with the Pelicans though. Him and AD, that game in the playoffs, I think they combined for like 80 points in the playoff game, which is something crazy. I think I don't know if that was the same game that Rondo had like 20-something assists or whatever. But not to bring up the past. Yes, I think Jrue Holiday is supposed to get in, unfortunately. And
unfortunately,
I the criteria, like, again, same way I look at MVPs, same way I look at, I don't care about the All-Stars, but like, what is the actual criteria we're judging to put people in? And I heard you say a measuring stick, Savage, but let's be honest, there's no measuring stick realistically for the Hall of Fame. There's no measuring stick for the MVPs. And so I'll give it to Jrue and kudos to him. And what will not, like you said, vital part for both teams. If Jrue Holiday is not on the Celtics, if Jrue Holiday is not on the Bucks, neither one of those teams, in my opinion, might not be champions.
I agree.
Touché.
Jrue was locked in on defense, man. That's one thing he'll do. He'll guard 1 through 5 for real.
And to just reiterate what he said, they had a light player and Marcus Smart, a little worse offensively, but like good defensive player, and it elevated the Celtics to new height.
Yeah.
I mean, they added Porzingis as well, but big difference between the two.
Yeah, that's facts. Sorry, said if Kyle Lowry is a Hall of Fame.
Hey, bro. Hey, yo.
Top 10.
Top 10. Hey, top 10 is number 1 in Canada as far as scoring in the NBA. So you better put some respect on Kyle top 10 Lowry, bro. Ain't nobody got his record yet. He got Canada on lock, bro. He's a Canadian legend, and Canada done took too much L's, bro. Stop helping them. Kyle Lowry is out. Yeah, bro. Yeah. Rest your case. Go to bed. Disrespecting Kyle Lowry like that. What the hell?
Did Kyle Lowry resign with Philadelphia? Where is he at now?
Yeah, he's in Philly.
He's supposed to.
No.
I thought he was still begging for a Knicks contract.
Hey, because he's trying to get a championship. He's smart.
He in Philly. He's still with Philly.
You need to stay with Philly.
That's a good pick. They're not like us.
Not for $30 million.
He's in the Hall of Fame with Floppy. I can guarantee you that.
Hey, man. Hey.
Okay.
Warriors, we would have loved Kyle Lowry in a Warriors uniform.
No, you're right.
Wow.
He does the intangibles. I give you that.
Definitely.
Kyle Lowry. Shout out to Kyle Lowry, man. Shout out to him.
Yeah,
all right, before we get up out of here, man, I wanted to discuss Tyrese Haliburton's tweets. Of course, that is associated with the tweet that I sent out that went pretty viral, I guess. I've had even more viral tweets than this. The John Morant tweet went crazy.
It's still a lot, though.
Yeah, it's still a lot. It was crazy. And I was not intended for it to go viral, but that's how it happens. You can't never predict. That's why I don't tweet no more. But I tweeted Tyrese Haliburton basically had the most fun vacation ever, which I mean he did. He didn't play basketball. He just trained with LeBron and them, hung out in Paris, France, got to see the Olympics. You know, he had. Did y'all see his right? He in the car. It was like a milkshake factory in the car.
All the snow bunnies.
I was like, God,
all of them.
Jesus Christ!
All of them came out the limo like, "Hey, we finna turn the F up, but we in Paris. Hey, we lit, niggas in Paris. That was the thing. He chilling, bro. He chilling in Paris,
enjoying his best life for real.
He had every flavor of milkshake coming out the car. I was like, okay, Tyrese, look, you ain't playing anyway, so you can stay as late as you want to. You can turn up for as much as you want to. Like I noticed during the France game, this man did not come out of his warm-ups. He literally had his pants on the whole time. Like he was just chilling on the bench.
Win or lose, I'm in these warm-ups. Win or lose.
In the warm-ups, man. Like I literally like when you play like in high school, if you know you're not playing, you don't put your shorts on underneath your pants. You just get your pants on. So I'm sure he didn't have the shorts on underneath the pants. I'm sure he knew he wasn't playing at all. So the tweet here says, when you ain't do nothing on the group project and still getting A, and of course he's flexing his gold medal. That is one end of the spectrum of a DNP coach's decision in Paris, France. And on the other side, Jason Tatum, he played a little bit in the championship game, but his mom ended up coming out and saying that, you know, long story short, I don't like how y'all treat my son. Somebody called her an AAU mom.
She's from St. Louis, bro. You can't mess with the people from the South.
This is true.
She's from St. Louis, man.
I don't know if he played for, because St. Louis got a team called Game Face. I don't know if he played for Game Face or whoever. But he also played in Memphis. So yeah, he know a little bit about Memphis AAU. Shit, you know about that too. So based on the reactions to playing or not playing as much, what are y'all's thoughts on Tatum and Haliburton's reactions to the gold medal and how they got the gold medal?
I mean, one felt like he literally what he just tweeted, like, I didn't do shit and I still got an A. Like, thank y'all. And we've been to college, we've been associated with people that we've had to look and be like, yo, you really finna get this grade and you ain't do nothing. I mean, but I don't think that's the energy towards him though, which is a great thing. But on the other side of Jason Tatum, literally just won an NBA championship. You got a somewhat of a dynasty that's about to get started. He should have played. He's a better two-way player on the team. Like, you could have made minutes for him. So I think, again, he didn't have to shoot the ball to be effective. Jason Tatum, we see Jaylen Brown take over, but we see Jason Tatum get the double-doubles with rebounds and assists. And like I said, we need defense most of the Serbian game. Why isn't he playing? So I think that's when we as basketball fans can see where Tatum could have been used and Steve Kerr not play him at all. I think that's where the biggest fuss is coming from, is to not play somebody who was contributing, the second best player on the NBA championship team. You game planned against them because you have to beat them in the NBA finals. How do you not play? So I feel where Mama Tatum is playing. What's saying?
I mean, I loved how Haliburton handled it. I mean, I'm not mad at Tatum for being upset about it. I'd be upset if he didn't play after I won. I get it, but when he did play, he didn't play very well. He was terrible in that gold medal game. I wish Kerr just stuck with his saying that you're not going to play. I know the fans are upset and just didn't say it. I mean, Tatum's a great player. I defend Tatum when it's NBA rule was in how he played. FIBA game, I trust Devin Booker to make a shot more than I trust Jason Tatum. Like, I've seen Devin Booker take tougher shots and make tougher shots. Tatum's a great player. I think the FIBA rules kind of hurt him. He's good at getting to the line, and if you get bumped, you're not going to be able to. You're not going to.
FIBA is way more fun to watch than the NBA. It was way more fun to watch.
Awesome. That's a good point, Tyler. That's a good point.
So, I think Devin Booker, just fits the FIBA game better. I think he had a better, not that this should matter really, but a better attitude towards the whole thing.
He did, yeah.
And but at the same time, I don't blame him for being upset. You're first team All-NBA, you're not playing. You have every right to be upset.
Good
Is that why SGA struggled too? Because he ain't get to the line as much?
Probably. Jamal Murray?
Oh God!
Ooh.
I'm talking Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Mr. Top. Do you think he a top 10 point guard, Tyler? Real quick. I'm sorry, Shitty. Real
Hell
quick.
no, I hate
The top 50
Okay.
is coming, man. The top 50 is coming in 2 weeks. It starts in 2 weeks.
Tyler
Cut me
said,
off,
hell
didn't
no. He said, hell no.
Well, I want to say you started saying this name, Tyler. I just want to bring this to light real quick, and I'll talk about the other tweets I've seen as well. No one's mentioned Donovan Mitchell playing for Team USA. And Donovan Mitchell, when that came out and they said who's going to be next on the roster, they left him completely off. And he retweeted with eyes like, damn, I guess I ain't good enough. Which, we'll see as we go on. I don't even think we even mentioned him last episode about being on the team.
I did.
Okay.
As an option, yeah.
Better change some shoes.
What I will say is any game that Jason Tatum is going to the Bay Area, go and circle it. Because I want to see what that game's going to be like. And if he has any payback or remorse towards Steve Kerr. At the end of the day, I respect both of them for how they handle it. Haliburton, congratulations, kudos. You know what I mean? Go ahead and do what you do. He's literally the Christian Laettner of the team. Like, you were just here to suit up player. And it's hard for me to say that there are 9 other players on that team, 10 other players on that team than Jason Tatum. But again, at the end of the day, the win is a win. It's over with. I'm not going to debate the Kerr thing anymore, anything like that. But what I will say is I love how both of them handled it. I'll leave it at that. Just circle that for Tatum. But I don't think Tatum's going to go get an MVP this season just because he didn't win. He didn't play in the Olympics like that. Y'all can go and cut that.
Brown, man. So nah.
Yeah, y'all can cut that. He ain't the best player on this team, so we'll move on from there. Not even the best player in the East.
Oh, of course not. No.
I ain't trying to hear no more Kobe comparisons from him. This man, I ain't trying to hear no more. You're not the best player on your team, and you let your moms fight your battles, bro. No, I ain't trying to hear shit else.
Kobe would never.
No.
You know what?
I hope Vanessa use Kobe phone and block Tatum at this point.
Wow.
Stop.
Hey,
get with the purple headband.
Stop.
The little wristband he had.
Yeah, the purple.
Hey, they won on 8-10-24, man. They got
Kobe.
Rock out for Kobe, man.
Kobe.
This is what I learned about Jason Tatum, though. Jason Tatum, amazing player, great player. He doesn't we talked about too about Boston, how they just missed something. Jason Tatum doesn't have something that makes him like a top dog player. And you can't put dog inside somebody. Like you have to. Jaylen Brown's a dog. You have to have dog in you. You can't just go out and buy it and then insert into yourself. Like that ain't how it works. I don't think he has it because I mentioned before about Anthony Edwards, dog. Like he's a dog. There was no way Steve Kerr could ever bench Anthony Edwards. In FIBA last year, he said off the bench, hell no, I'm starting. Would Tatum ever come out and say that? No. And because of that, that is going to deter Jason Tatum's game because the game is more than just physical, it's also mental. It's also upstairs, up here. Tatum just doesn't have that that makes you say, you know what, let me go ahead and play him because I don't want him to be in a bad mood. If Ant-Man's in a bad mood, you're going to hear about it. We heard about it last year from Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr made the right move, put him back in the starting lineup, and we see the fruits of the labor of Ant-Man playing a good role in Team USA this year. Tatum not getting any minutes, crazy. And will he even start next go around, depending on who playing? If you got Ja, if you got Spider, if you got Jaylen Brown, if he plays, I don't know. Who else? Booker's gonna be there. If Kevin Durant is there, Ant-Man, like where is room for Tatum to get like his self-esteem back? Is my question. Where is that gonna be at? You know what I'm saying?
It should be now. Like he should carry that. Joe Mazzulla, like he should carry that energy into next season. And if we're not talking about Jason Tatum being an MVP candidate, then
he's not gonna be one.
And that's unfortunate because if this was me and I'm having to go through this whole experience of, getting to the finals and seeing my teammate, get finals MVP, which it ain't no hate, but at the same time, it should have been me. And then I come to Team USA experience and you telling me I'm not a top 10 player on this team. Like I would feel some kind of way. So if he doesn't, LBR commandment, if somebody show you out, you better believe him. Yep. That's after next season, we'll know what kind of Jason Tatum we're gonna get for the rest of his career.
I can't wait. Can't wait to see it, man.
At the same time, Jason Tatum had the toughest road to get into the lineup as far as positions go. Like, KD's not going to sit. LeBron is in a minute. Like, obviously, you could put on, but, like, the position he plays, he's either too small to be a big, where Bam would get those minutes, which rightfully so. Bam played great. Yeah. And then he's not too big to play shooting guard, but, like, the shooting guard, you can't sit Ant. And then Devin Booker did all the small things Kerr liked. Like, obviously, you could have played him over Booker, but I don't know.
Booker played well
towards the right roster for him.
He did.
Yeah.
I'll just move Brown to the point and try to figure it out, to be honest.
Could have done that.
So what would have happened if Kawhi played?
Hey, he having a real J. Cole moment, so we need to be looking at him different.
Hey, look.
Maybe backing up.
Wow.
Wow. Like, hold on. I see this
what
shit.
A comparison. Wow. What a comparison.
Shout out to
Jason Tatum, light skin problems. He's having the J. Cole moment.
I said this one out.
That's an amazing comparison. I ain't gonna lie.
Sideline story for real.
Sideline story. That's sideline story.
Look, the fall off coming soon.
Fall off coming soon.
Fall off coming soon.
Oh my God. Wow. I can't stand y'all, man. I can't stand
That's what we're good for.
Yeah. All right, man. Before I get up out of here, want to give a shout out to Tyler, man, for coming on with us, kicking it with us, man.
Sir.
Tell the people where they can find you at on social media, on podcast platforms, and all that good stuff.
I mean, you can find me on YouTube, Sports with a Slur. You can find me at Fatboy Fadeaway. Still doing that after all these years. I don't know how long it's been, but that's probably my go-to. And then on X, Tyler M. GUIRK, no C. You can find me there. Thank you for having me on. This was a blast. Whenever you need me, whenever you're not need me, you'll never need me. Whenever you want me to come back on, let me know.
For sure, man. Yeah. For sure. It's NFL season, man. So y'all gotta lock in with Tyler for the 49ers, man. That's my rival right now for the season. Always. I don't care about nobody else but the Niners, man. That's it. In NFC, I ain't worried about nobody but the Niners. It's always how it is.
Get Ayuk signed. Let's go.
He gotta go, man. He gonna get traded, man. I think he gone.
They can't trade him. They don't have any for what? This is their last hurrah. I can't trade him this year anyway.
Y'all already got Amari Cooper for him.
Hey, he wanted to sign an extension with the Browns, so the Browns are like, all right, we're not giving up all this. Like, and then the Steelers will offer us not enough, and he'll go there.
Steelers ain't never gonna offer enough. Steelers will never offer enough.
I'm gonna tell you this: when Deontay Johnson underperformed, we will be giving y'all a call.
Carolina.
For my Carolina Panthers.
Y'all need to get Renfro or whoever it was from the Raiders.
We need Renfro. We need a third receiver. We need that. I'll tell you Renfro right now. Shoot.
That's a route.
Yeah. All right, man. So next week we are actually going to be off.
Oh no.
Oh yeah. So upset about that. We are taking the week off, but that's because we are getting ready for our top 50 NBA players series the week after that. So we will begin 50 through 41 on the next episode within 2 weeks. The guys and I, we will do our top 50, man. So we got to take some time to evaluate all the players in the league, look and see where we got these players slotted at, and then we'll come back in 2 weeks and begin our top 50 series because we're not doing top 10. There's too much confusion with who's a point guard, who's not a point guard, who's shooting guard, whatever. We just say, you know what? Who's better than who? Regardless of position. That's what we're going to do. Sharky also made a good point. We also are going to have LBR this Wednesday. Not Saturday. This Wednesday, we're doing the NFC East preview, which, of course,
y'all Negroes going to be on.
That's why we moved to Wednesday.
I gotta be there. I
had to make sure, bro, because I'm having a lot of fun with this, and the pen I plan on being on Wednesday is.
Oh my God!
We need Darren to pull up.
Yeah, Darren new dad, so I don't know if he's gonna be there. You know how they go. But yeah, so we'll be back on Wednesday for LBR. Me and Sheedy and Took for sure, because I mean Sheedy got to do the Cowboys, I got to do the Eagles, and we'll have the episode for the NFC East on Wednesday. So again, 2 weeks is the next 3 to Hardaway, and then we'll have LBR this Wednesday. So we'll see y'all then. Stay safe. Be blessed. Peace.